What's good, YouTube? Back with another how-to Q50 video, and today I'm going to show you how to remove the tail lights on the Q50. So here are the tools that you'll need for this project: 10mm socket wrench, plastic trim of your choice, and a 5/16 socket. Alright, next step is to remove all the contents from the trunk and then remove the spare tire cup. Now remove the plastic trim around the edge by simply popping it up. This part is held by clips, so don't be afraid to use a little force. Use your plastic trim tool to remove the clips holding the trunk liner. And you don't need to remove the whole thing, just enough to where you can reach the tail light power cord. And remember to keep the clips in a safe area so that when you reassemble the trunk liner, you won't come up short on clips. Alright, now we've got the trunk liner out of the way, so let's remove the power cord. Press firmly on the release button and be careful not to rip out any wires using too much elbow grease. Okay, here you want to use your plastic trim tool to remove the cover by popping from the bottom, then the top. Then that will expose the two 10mm nuts that need to be removed. Okay, here you'll need your 10mm socket wrench to unscrew the two bolts until you can remove them by hand. Also remember to keep your bolts in a safe place as you will need them later on. Now finally on to the removal of the taillight itself. To prevent breaking the taillight, we have to distribute the pull force evenly between our grips. So position your grip on the fat and skinny side of the light and wiggle it out slowly until it pops out. Once the taillight is off, we have two things to remove. So let's start with the power clip to the taillight. And with this, you just twist it until it unlatches itself, revealing the clip. And again, be careful not to rip any wires. Press firmly on the release clip for a smooth pull. Moving on to the LED bulb, you want to do the same thing. Twist the bulb until it unlatches itself. Okay, now on to removing the trunk liner, and yes, the whole thing has to come off, so that way you can get to the other tail lights. Once all the clips are off, start from the emergency trunk lever and shift the liner around the lever holder, and the whole piece should just come right off. On to the last part of removing the tail light. Again, carefully remove the power cord to the lights. Then take your 10mm socket, and this time you're just going to break it loose and remove it by hand because the nuts can easily fall into the trunk lid, and we really want to avoid that. Don't ask me how I know, I just know. Then you move on to that two outer bolts with the same 10mm socket and store these bolts in a safe location for reassembly later on. So now we use our 5/16 socket to remove the one bolt holding the chrome trim, and the reason for this is to give our taillight a little extra wiggle room just so we don't scratch anything in the removal process. Alright guys, thank you for joining me today in my how-to Q50. Again, if you liked the video, share, subscribe. Any questions or comments, just leave them down below. As always, much love.